So start recording. Okay, cool. It's going.
It's going.
It's going. So I want to know your thoughts on my idea to bring um, what's his name? The words with the faces. Sorry, I'm trying to also change this. Um, I want to know your thoughts on my Allen for Herbert trade.
No.
Why?
Because I don't feel that you give Justin Herbert enough credit.
But I'm giving him the credit. I'm saying the Chargers organization is too dependent on getting a player that needs to carry it. They are looking for a Patrick Mahomes rather than just using what they have. Like they want somebody to walk out there and take over the game. They need him to throw 400 yards, throw 35 times, 40 times a game, all that other stuff, which is the same thing Josh Allen does, which is the opposite of how Herbert played in college. He wasn't a big like 50 throws and all that other stuff. I think it'd be better off for him to be in a situation like Buffalo where
Exactly.
where they put a bunch of pieces around him, actually good pieces and not Eckler and Mike Williams, but Stephon Diggs and that ridiculous running core that they have now, and then
Well,
really run that somewhere.
I'm biased because I'm a Chargers fan. So, I mean, I don't want to see them get rid of Justin Herbert. And you're right. I agree with you. Like, he shouldn't have to throw 40, 50 times when we have Austin Eckler. I think we've talked about this before, and I told you that I thought that it shouldn't all fall on Justin Herbert. Let's look at that Jaguars game where we were doing
Oh, bro, I turned it off because I
great.
was like, "You guys got this. It's not even worth my time to watch."
Yeah, like I mean, I was there.
Ridiculous.
I drove all the way to Jacksonville to watch us start out strong and then just completely we didn't run any clock
Fall
down.
apart.
Yeah, I mean, if Justin Herbert didn't necessarily fall apart, it's the play calling that fell apart. We didn't run any time off of the clock. We just didn't utilize. I mean, we didn't utilize Keenan Allen. He didn't go
Mm-hmm.
deep at all.
Yep. But see, that's where I feel like that is the actual like strong suit of Josh Allen is he doesn't need any of that. He's going to take it and he's going to, put them in the best position to succeed. Plus it would be better for that division to have Allen, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, all those guys in the same place. Like they get to fight each other constantly in their division. Like the best one truly comes out of it, and you're not just going to get Allen did good in his division over on the other side, so it's just going to be Allen, um, Mahomes. But Allen can't actually put anything together there, so that's why I feel like he needs a change of scenery. There is an age difference; it's about a year and a half, almost two. So that I don't love for you guys because you'd be getting a 27-year-old for a 25-year-old. But at the same time, I mean, I just feel like he would be the one to put it together for you guys if you guys need that. Because now they're talking about you guys getting rid of Eckler and trading him to Carolina for a future first round pick or something like that, or future second round pick or something. Like you guys might not even have him to finish or to start the year. And they're talking about not even paying him. And he's all, have you heard about all the controversy where they're all pissed off?
I do know that. I mean, I know about the contract controversy where he was asking for more money and
Yeah, dude.
they weren't budging. He wasn't budging, which is ridiculous. Why would you? As someone who had to watch him play, why would you not pay this man?
I don't disagree with that at all.
What other options do you really have? I mean, and then you hear about the controversy with running backs across the entire league, where they feel that they take all the slack from ownership, but they don't get paid like any of the other players.
I
And you,
wholeheartedly agree with that. And did you see where Derrick Henry said they should just eliminate the running back position as a whole?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. So Derrick Henry came out afterwards. Obviously, we know Derrick's going to be great. They just got D Hop over on the Titans and everything like that, but they're still running Tannehill with now Will Levis, who apparently is the next prodigy, according to himself and nobody else. But yeah, Derrick Henry came out, and I'm going to pull up the direct quote just so I can be sure. But
Yes.
basically, he's basically saying just eliminate the entire position. He said at this point, just take the running back position out of the game. Then that was a direct quote.
I mean, is he wrong? I don't think he's wrong.
I think we just need to stop calling it a running back.
Name 10 running backs that you can go to right now that are going to be like are the best. I mean, at max you're going to probably get to 6 or 7.
Okay, let's
you have to go through 32.
If I have to go through them all, then let's do that. ESPN running back rankings. Okay. I'm actually going to do it based on PPR because I couldn't care less about the regular one.
So, like NFL rankings, number 2, Austin Eckler.
Oh, no.
You don't want to pay this guy. You got Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and Miles Sanders. That's the top 10 rated as of right now.
Well, I'm about to piss a bunch of people off with that then. So I'm trying to pull up the official fantasy list for it because I think soon I'm going to do my fantasy drafts, do my 50 fantasies or whatever.
I didn't even play last year.
Oh, I play every year. Okay. Number 1, I will agree, is Christian McCaffrey. They're putting Eckler as 2. I just don't do this. They're saying, okay, this list is ridiculous. This is putting Bijan Robinson over Nick Chubb. Who? I want whatever they're smoking. Okay, anyways. Number 1 would be McCaffrey. 2 would be Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Just because I feel like him with Anthony Richardson now, the Colts are in for a big year. Ramondre's not going to do anything. I would probably put Chubb 3. 4 would be Josh Jacobs just based off of his last year. I personally think that Mixon or Najee Harris are better than Josh Jacobs, but he just had a good year last year. And now with the Raiders starting Garoppolo and possibly even Tom Brady, I just don't see that fleshing out the way they want it.
Now,
the rumors that he might go back to the Raiders, but I don't.
I mean, he doesn't really have anything else going on right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything going on besides the fact that he's apparently dating Kim Kardashian.
I mean,
I thought that was crazy.
She has an interesting dynamic, I guess.
She got something, man. But no, it's I don't know. These are the ones that are going to piss a lot of people off. Derrick Henry is not a top 5 running back. Tony Pollard is not a top 5 running back. I
mean,
Eckler's not top 5, and if he is, he's 5.
If we're going by statistics, that's by stats. Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley.
If you had to take Austin Eckler off your team right now, most people would just go to Christian McCaffrey minus.
Oh, don't listen. I mean, not Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, running back wise, is one of the best. Is out of the last 5 running backs we've had, he's the most productive running back we've had.
Man, Chargers have one of the best running backs ever.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but since LaDainian, who have we had besides
I don't disagree with that at all. But we got to figure out what's going to be next for the Chargers because obviously it's not sitting holding pat. They're not going to pay Eckler, so Eckler's going to go someplace else. So you guys are going to have to hope and pray that you can do a Chiefs and go pull Isaiah Pacheco out of the 7th round. Which good luck with that.
That's what my team has always done. They always they find a way when we have a decent team, and then they fuck it up. If I'm allowed to say that, but
I don't really care. I'll just bleep it.
They screw it up, and then we can't. If someone gets hurt, then we can't you hinder us. They hinder us so much.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Stupid decisions.
But I feel like just the problem with it is the Chargers. Like I said in my video, the Chargers are fucking cursed, bro. I don't know what it is about y'all or what you guys did.
Ownership.
You guys pissed off like a god or something somewhere, but
I mean, there's an internal power struggle with my team's ownership between the sister and the brothers, and they're fighting it out, and it's just been going on. And I mean, I don't know if they've come to any kind of resolution on that or anything, but you see that it's evident, dude. My team falls apart literally with every single time they have a shot at something.
I don't disagree with that. And the Spanos are a interesting organization or interesting one. It looks like that's 22. I'm trying to see if maybe there's any new news from them because I know with the sale of the Commanders now, if you guys end up being worse than the Commanders with Justin Herbert, you guys absolutely have to trade him. Period.
What you don't think we should take his career down?
No, I think that he should go on someplace else. That's why I think you guys should go get Allen. And I know that's it sounds crazy in the moment, but I don't know, man. I feel like that he is more of a Charger than Herbert is. Like,
I mean,
truly.
if they're not gonna, it's just crazy because if they're not gonna utilize what they have, might as well.
Don't disagree with that.
I mean, you can't. I mean, it sounds radical, but I mean, it's not radical if it works.
Correct. And that's the difference now. Like, when are the Chargers going to be like, hey, man, we need this to actually work finally? As opposed to just being like, oh, hey, yeah, man, we're gonna go draft. Like, okay, let's just look at this. I'm gonna pull up the 2022 Chargers draft. Okay, now obviously they're not the greatest drafters ever, but I mean they're pretty good. Number 1, you guys took Zion Johnson, 17th overall. Is he still even on your team?
Who? Sorry.
Hold on. I'm looking this up. Okay, so in 2022, you guys selected Zion Johnson, an offensive guard out of Boston College. Now, I want to see if he's even starting on your team.
Let's look at the depth chart.
Zion Johnson is your current starting left guard, so that's good. Good choice. So far, at least. Then you took a safety, JT Woods from Baylor. He is your backup behind Derwin James. That was a third round pick, number 79 overall, so I'm not really happy with you guys taking him. Then you guys take Isaiah Spiller, who I like, which is exactly what's going to happen. You guys are going to run Joshua Kelly, Roundtree, and Spiller when you guys trade Eckler. But the problem is I don't see you guys getting to the next level. I love Gerald Everett. I even like Parnham, your backup tight end. But Kitty's interesting. I mean, he could have been good. I like Rashawn Slater, Pipkins, Corey Lindsley. I like some of the guys that you guys have. It's just that receiving core. I don't know how you guys expect to win consistent playoff games. I mean, if we go on the other side of the ball, defense, Kendricks, Mack, Bosa, Derwin, Asante Samuel, now, like, it's going to be a great defense. But you guys need something else. And I think if you guys are going to keep Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, you guys need to upgrade the quarterback. And I don't mean upgrade because Herbert can't do it. I just don't think that whatever's standing in his way is the Chargers. And I feel like that's the same thing with the Bills.
Even when he's out there, he's not utilized. I mean, he utilizes Mike Williams a lot, but Keenan Allen gets no love.
Exactly.
But, I mean, then again, Keenan Allen always gets hurt.
But the problem is that's also a part of the system. Like, you guys are always so injury prone.
I mean, I don't know how you fix that after we replaced the entire training staff. I think it's culture. We got the strength and conditioning coaches. We replaced all of them, and that still continues to be a problem. Like, I don't know what you would say about that.
Yeah, that's why I said I feel like you guys just need somebody who's ready to do more and just ready to just walk in there and just do it. If you guys, honestly, I thought the trade that would have been amazing would have been you guys basically doing essentially not a legit sign and trade because that's not as prevalent in the NFL as opposed to the NBA, but basically doing a sign and trade and getting Lamar in LA, beautiful weather, like Eckler, him, Williams, like he could have really changed your offense. And then at that point, you now have Lamar Jackson and that thing. And then you guys could have legitimately made a push for Odell Beckham. I think Odell Beckham signs in goes from the Rams to the Chargers strictly because they get Lamar.
I think, me and you've talked about this before, and I still wholeheartedly believe that after that last year's debacle, that we should have gotten a new coach.
Okay, what coach do you want? You got to know what you're getting into. So who are you going to get? Okay, let's look at the current unhired.
I really don't. I mean, let's be real though. I've seen coaches who have not had that he melted down multiple times this season with play calling, and it cost us every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. So it's not like I have a specific coach in mind, but I've seen other good coaches that haven't stumbled like that come in and get fired their first season.
I don't
And
disagree with
they're
that.
like, and that's another thing with ownership. Hey, let's give this guy another chance. Why?
I agree with that.
We saw what he had, bro. You melted down in the playoffs.
You're talking about Staley, right? I want to make sure we're talking about the same
Brandon
guy.
Staley.
Yep. Okay. Because a lot of people put it on him, and I agree with that. I don't think it was the offense defensive coordinator. I think it was just
like I said
overall.
That was the first time I ever saw my Chargers play, and
really?
and that was the biggest. I got to literally see them make history opposite of what I wanted to see.
Right. You're like, man, we're about to run to the Super Bowl, my dude.
Dude, listen. And then Joey Bosa running off with his mouth at the very end of the game to the refs.
Well, speaking of that, I'm going to go back to that real quick. Have you seen the quarterback on Netflix at all? Okay, we'll get to that
I did,
eventually.
They just renewed somebody to be on there. Who I saw the article, but I didn't have a chance to read it.
Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Mariota, and they kind of go into a little bit, and they were actually, your Chargers, man, your Chargers.
That's all you can say.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what else to do.
That's the thing. We can always push through the first. Well, when Phillip Rivers was there, we could usually always push through the first, but we could never get through the second. This time we have a new coach. Like this is a new team. I would like to see what this team could do with good play calling.
I agree. So my solution to that would be to get a different quarterback. And you use that as a way to lure out one person from college. And a lot of people are going to try and get Lincoln Riley over the course of the next few years, the new USC coach, former Oklahoma coach, and everything like that. I think you guys should make the Josh Allen trade. This is my tinfoil hat. You guys should trade Eckler, get a decent pick in the future, preferably next year's draft. Trade for Allen. You're going to need that draft pick possibly to even secure the Allen trade, but I just think that they're just going to give him up because they're going to be like, oh, Herbert, younger, a year and a half younger. Yeah, we'll take him. He's a much better passer of the ball. He's much safer with the ball. I just feel like he's a better option. But you do that, and then you try to lure out a Lincoln Riley, and since you're not going to be able to do that, you go and get Harbaugh. Go pull a Harbaugh from college. Go say, hey, you know what I'm about to give you? Mike Williams, a future first-round pick, which will end up being the Bills pick, which, to be honest, I'm going to throw it out there already. I don't think the Bills are going to make it past the first round.
Anything's possible. You never know.
Well, you got to figure.
LA.
LA's a perfect location for you guys. Like,
you got to think about. That's the biggest thing I always have to think about. And you know that for a fact.
What's
halfway
that?
through the season, my whole team is done.
But see, that's the thing. From what we've seen from Harbaugh in college the past few years, he seems to get better as time goes on. He seems to be able to talk to people. He seems to be able to get the best out of people. And with that, I feel like you guys could do so much. Like, to be honest, who just got traded yesterday? Mims. Mims just got traded for some BS thing. Let me see. Yeah, Jets have not released him. Oh, they're trying to find a trade. I could have swore it was already closed. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, Denzel Mims was just traded from the Jets to the Lions. Decent one. He was a second-round pick in 2020. He was amazing in college. I think he could end up becoming something. But they traded him for a sixth-round pick. He was the former, I'm pretty confident he played for Oklahoma. But he was amazing for them.
I'm not going to look at best players, but I don't know, man. This is going to be a crazy year to watch. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a Jet this year.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers will not make the playoffs. And if he does, it's a first-round exit. Wholeheartedly. I will not know. Everyone's trying to tell me that, like, oh, man, all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers knows how to win. It's like, okay, when he had all that talent in Green Bay, did he do that? Oh, yeah, he went to one. Okay, and he won it. Hey, that's great. You won a Super Bowl. I'm proud of you. You're great for the thing, but you and Brett Favre are essentially the same person to the point where you guys both are terrible people. Brett Favre allegedly, quote unquote, stole funds from a Mississippi thing. Now I haven't followed up about what's happened since I last checked up on it, but that and then the whole controversy with Aaron Rodgers literally lying or quote unquote skirting the truth with the whole vaccine status and then being like pushing the vaccine hesitancy, like
He lied.
when are the Packers going to pick a quarterback that isn't an absolute pile of human garbage?
I mean, they didn't start it. It didn't start out that they were. Well, he was already a piece of human garbage, I guess.
Who, Rodgers?
Brett Favre. It depends on when you.
Rodgers is, or Favre has always been garbage. I don't know why everybody like tries to put him on this pedestal. And the fact that we like kept T.O. out for so long, but you're going to let that just. I mean, oh my god! And put him.
Other set of issues. That's a whole other set of issues. We'll discuss that another time.
Garbage.
But I mean, Aaron Rodgers started as a bad guy. I mean, dude's super educated. He just lied, but it's like, what? Dude, just stand in your truth, man. Just be honest about it. Like, you didn't want to do it. Okay, cool.
It has nothing to do with that. It's like we were already at a tumultuous time in our nation. We already had so much going on, and now you're going to have a very prevalent public figure of a publicly traded and owned company of the NFL that receives government funds and is, I'm pretty confident, still a 501c organization, meaning that they don't pay taxes. Like, so you're still you're getting all these concessions from the government, but yet you're telling people that the government is essentially trying to poison you. That's the solution.
I understand, but
and he's allowed to think whatever he wants. But you are the public facing thing. Like, we're going to get mad at people like Lamar, or we're going to get mad at people like Kyler Murray, or all these other people for doing like really just dumb things. I'll give them that, just dumb. But at the same time,
there are people that escape the rules, man. It's unfortunate. It sucks.
But it seems to always be the Packers. Why is it always the Packers? Is it because they're the only non-owned team and they basically just have no checks and balances to hold people accountable?
He didn't really do anything that they can hold him accountable. I mean, they did. He probably.
He put people's lives in danger. Period.
He did.
So, I mean, that's enough. Like, if Lamar Jackson did that, they would have roasted him. They got mad at him for saying, "You don't love Lamar" on Twitter at one point.
And
it's ridiculous. We're going to let the white quarterback that from the franchise where all white quarterbacks get away with murder, essentially, the Packers, and just let them kind of do whatever they want. Like, I don't understand. And then to think that after all of that,
talk about like with the NFL itself, but let's get back on track and talk about where we were talking about where we thought everyone was going to place through. You don't think that the Jets are going to make it through the first round?
To be honest, like, okay, let's look at the Jets schedule real quick. Schedule 2023. I'm pretty sure Rich Eisen put them at 3-3 for this first 6 games, so that's not a great start.
I mean, far in the top rankings, they're ranked number 6.
Yeah, that's hype. That's all that is. Okay, so their first 6 games are as followed. Buffalo at home, at Dallas, New England at home, Kansas City at home, at Denver, Philly at home, or Philly coming to them, I mean. So you're going through Buffalo, Dallas, New England, Kansas City, Denver, and Philly. That's your first 6 games. Then after that, you get a bye week 7 bye week, the Giants. Then we go to the Chargers, Vegas. If they're half decent, that'll be good. The tickets are $240 in Vegas right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Then they play Buffalo again, Miami, who Tyreek Hill thinks is going to go to the Super Bowl, which is, again, also not happening. Then they start to get into the soft part of their schedule. Atlanta, Houston, Miami the second time, the Commanders, Cleveland, and then they finish out week 18 against New England. I don't see them taking 2 games against Buffalo, so at best they'll split it. So 1-1. Dallas, I think, is going to smoke them. New England's going to do well. They'll be in it, but I do think the Jets could win that. Kansas City's going to smoke them. I don't think Denver is a playoff contender, like a true playoff contender, and I'll get into that a whole other video. And then Philly. Philly was just in the Super Bowl. We can't discount them. So just out of those first 6 games, I mean, 2 wins, and those 2 wins might be New England and Denver. Like that's not good enough to make the suit or make a playoff run. And to think that he's just going to show up and be like, oh hey yeah, we're in the Super Bowl now. Meanwhile, he couldn't do it with pretty much the exact same receiving core in the Packers, considering they pretty much took everybody.
Right.
And their running backs are good, but unless they add Dalvin Cook, I mean, you had better running backs in New England, in Green Bay, like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
So why do you not think that the Buffalo Bills will go far?
Okay, well, I'm going to pull the Bills schedule. One, I just don't think Josh Allen has it. I truly don't. Yeah, people can argue with me about it all they want.
My team?
No. What I'm saying is he can't do it in Buffalo. That's why I said it'd be, in my opinion, it'd be better to swap them. He is not he can handle the cold and everything like that, but why even bother? Just let him go to a beautiful area and then use him, since he's such a polarizing talent and people want to play with Josh Allen. They want to play with the Mahomes, the Burrows, all those. Hey man, now you all of a sudden made the Chargers a great destination for free agents. And not just that, but you also pretty much take any free agents that would come to LA away from the Rams. So right now, Justin Herbert's not the drawing force that's bringing people there or anything like that. He's just kind of a guy that's there. And I'm not saying he's not good, but I just feel like he needs to be in that system with Dayball and all those. I feel like he would do really well. Or I'm sorry, Dayball's in New York now. He'd be up there with McDermott, I mean.
So
but no. But they open up against... At New York, then they go to Vegas, then at Washington, Miami, Jacksonville, New York. So I'll just do the first 6 again. They beat New York, they beat Vegas, they beat Washington, they beat Miami, they lose to Jacksonville, they beat New York. So they're 5-1. Then they go to New England, and I think that's a loss on there because New England always plays them well. So they are 5-2, 6-2 with the win at Miami. 6-3 with the loss at Cincinnati, 6-4 with the loss at Denver, 7-4 at New York, losing to Philadelphia, I think in a nail biter, depending on the health of the Eagles, obviously. So at that point, they're 6-5. They're going to lose to Kansas City, so they're 6-6. Dallas goes to, they're at home with Dallas. Oh shoot! Hold on, the call might end here in a second. How much longer do I got?
3 or 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Okay.
45.
Cool. Okay. So going back to that, Dallas. At Dallas. Depending on where Dallas is at that point, Dallas could be fighting for a playoff spot, so it could be a really hard game. Dallas' schedule is they got some hard ones in there, but their schedule is much more manageable. I think they'll fight with Dallas. They'll probably beat them. So they're 7-6, right? 7-6. I think they fight with the Chargers and beat the Chargers in a nail biter, or you beat them. So that could go either way. They never beat New England twice, and then I don't think they're going to beat Miami twice. So I think if they make it to the playoffs, they're a wild card, and that's at best. That's everything going right. That's nobody getting hurt. That's Stephon Diggs coming back. That's everything like that. And that's also assuming no other team just pops off and all of a sudden is like, hey, yeah, guys, we're the best.
I can see that.
Yeah. Like the Bills are in such just a weird time right now that their window, in my opinion, is closed. Josh Allen will not win a title as long as he remains on the Bills. Now, if he gets, like I said, if he gets up and leaves the Bills, I think they should broker a trade between the Chargers and the Bills and just get the trade done. Like, if you guys need to do it straight up, then do it straight up. Whatever it needs to be, get it done. I wouldn't give up a first round pick on either side. I wouldn't really try to do picks at all. I'd just be like, hey man, we're gonna do Herbert for Allen. If we need to throw in like a third or fourth string receiver or safety or something like that, we'll do that. But that's about it. Like, you guys could literally trade the dude that you guys just got from Baylor, that safety in the third round. He'd be worth it.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I would consider it, but I need to see what this team can do with a coach who can fucking call plays.
I know, but you're not going to get that until you get a better quarterback. And I don't mean that like again, I'm not saying that he's a
Probably.
bad quarterback. I just think
Probably.
that you guys need the star power because you're in LA. And what everybody has always said is LA, you have a million things to do. You can go out, see the
Look,
Rams, the I mean everywhere.
winning. Winning.
I understand that, but your winning is 9 games, and it's a Phillip Rivers winning. You guys are winning by a field goal in the last second. Like you guys aren't winning. You guys
I
aren't
mean,
beating players or
I mean,
beating teams.
it wasn't Philip Rivers. It wasn't like Philip Rivers' fault. I mean,
But
it
that's
was.
why I feel like you guys need to get rid of Herbert because he's becoming Phillip Rivers, and Phillip Rivers never succeeded at the highest level.
I mean, he succeeded. He just didn't make.
Not having a Super Bowl means he didn't succeed at the highest level. I'm not saying he didn't succeed. He won a ton of games, but he was Matt Stafford pre-Super Bowl. Matt Stafford, in my opinion, until he won the Super Bowl, was not a Hall of Famer. I think one Super Bowl, he gets in.
You can't say. There's plenty of quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that don't have championships.
Yeah, that's dumb. I think eventually, once you get past the ones that won them, I'll give them that. But in the same token, that also means that I'm saying that, what was his name? Brad Johnson from the Bucks, the year that they won their first Super Bowl, that he would get in over somebody like a Dan Marino, and I don't think that. So that's why I don't know. I just feel like you guys need something big. You guys need a big trade. You guys need something that's going to change it. But they are calling for my Panthers to make the playoffs, so I'm happy about that.
That's probably not going to happen.
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. Hey, man, they're talking. It's us, the Browns, the Raiders, and I can't remember the other team, but they're the only ones rated with 100% when it comes to their offensive line cohesiveness or something like that. There was some metric that somebody had.
I will say another thing that my team needs to work on is that they need to run on their running defense because we are fucking terrible.
Which blows my mind when you have Bosa and Mac.
Right, we are atrocious when it comes to run defense. Like I believe they have us somewhere at like 28, 27.
That's terrible. We probably have a better run defense than that.
We have great players, but that's not something to be proud of.
I agree. So let's see. The number one rush defense was obviously the 49ers.
Yeah, man, that would suck. If we did the Hall of Fame like that, you would be literally taking out some like super heavy hitters.
But again, I think that's why there should be like a Hall of Fame and then, something else like an NFL Ring of Honor where we're honoring players that did a lot for the game and contributed. Like I think Michael Vick will, until the dog thing, was a Hall of Famer. Strictly because of what was going to happen. But now that happened, he's completely out. But yet most people credit Michael Vick with completely changing the game with developing of the running quarterback. So, again, he should make it into the Ring of Honor, essentially, but I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame, even though he will eventually be.
I mean, it's like I said, it's about inclusiveness. You're including everyone, champions, people who include, it's all the stats. So, yeah, everyone's going to know that dude had 7 championships. Everyone's going to know that. Like, that's going to be a stat that'll go down forever. But,
right.
Like, there are other people that change the game or that come into the league and it changes the way that other players play because they're good.
I don't disagree with that. I think that there's plenty of players that are good in the game and that are good for the game.
You'd have to throw out literally 2 of the greatest running backs of all time. If you say so, they go in the Ring of Honor, even though almost all running backs can say these. Look, it's good. Barry Sanders and LaDainian Tomlinson would be like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah, I fucking watched him play, and I knew that's like how I wanted to play.
If that's the case, then why don't we actually make the Hall of Fame a measurable thing, like and get rid of these? And I'm going to use this very sparingly, but all the old whites. That are basically like, oh, well, T.O. was mean to people, so he should stay out of the Hall of Fame for years. Like, okay, so you're not actually basing it on stats. You're not basing it on anything. You're basing it on some arbitrary opinion of somebody's character. how can you then be like, okay, it's stat based and it's we need this and we need that and it stands for so much, but yet we're going to let somebody who essentially possibly even never played the game at a high level or anything like that be like, oh yeah, well he blew up a locker room, even though he's not the only person in the locker room. If it's measurable stats, then it needs to be measurable stats. If it's accomplishments, then it needs to be accomplishments. It doesn't need to be an opinion based thing, which is what it's been.
I mean, I think that you could look at that in all leagues. I mean, I think that the NFL's Hall of Fame is way more inclusive than per se the MLB Hall of Fame.
I don't disagree, but that's just something that the MLB is actively trying to fix, whereas the NBA or the NFL is like, whatever.
Really? They're actively trying to fix it?
Yeah, dude, they're trying to. There's actually a push for them to finally put Pete Rose in, which I think is just a whole stupid thing that they kept him out.
But what about Pete Rose? But like he should have been in because you can gamble now. It's not even a
Well,
it's not even a second thought.
I agree with that, but then at the same time, then how can the NFL then go immediately against that and then suspend Calvin Ridley? Or suspend the 5 guys that they just did it. Now I understand if you're betting on your own team, but Calvin Ridley didn't bet on his own team. So to hold him out of the entire season and to basically remove a year from his NFL career based on somebody's opinion of the interpretation of the rules, it makes no sense to me. At what point are we actually just going to just put a thing on it? Like, how can we go, okay, cool, Ray Rice is out of the league for punching his girl in the face with a video, but who was I can't remember. There was a Cowboys defensive lineman or something like that like literally beat the dog shit out of us. No, Cowboys.
I mean, but like he'd be a perfect example
Yeah.
for what you're
A rape, a rape
So,
allegation.
and I mean, legitimately played in the league forever. He got it. I mean, there's a lot of people that if you look back at the history of the leagues that, like I said, man, some people just get to skate the rules. I don't.
But that's the thing. That's why the NFL, in my opinion, needs to change, and there needs to be something soon. Because
The Hall of Fame, I don't believe that you should exclude actual good players to the game just because they never.
That's fine. Then I think that we should do. Then it should be different. Then they shouldn't do just everybody lumped together. Then we should be like, hey, people that qualify based on the actual rules that we've set forth for the Hall of Fame, say, leader in receptions, yards, reception, total yards, all that stuff, tenure, the whole nine. And then we're going to go, okay, well, he's going to go in, and then we're going to make this guy who maybe has the same stats, but he's got a character flaw. He can't be in. But no, I don't know. The NFL has a lot of growing to do. Obviously, that's going to change drastically with the sale of the Washington Commanders. And the rumor is that the new group wants to rebrand it again.
Yeah.
But what are they going to bring it to? The rumor is that it might go back to the Washington football team, which I'm not going to lie, I like the seal. I hate the new W logo, but it's a lot better than the old Redskins logo.
I mean, they could rebrand it into something completely different. It'd be awesome. Like, that's one thing. So when Nike took over and they gave us the whole concept jersey thing, and it was like everyone had badass jerseys, and then to only see 2 teams actually like take some of the concept and utilize it and make their uniforms different because the league is fucking stale.
I agree with that. So what would you do to change it right now if you just had to institute one thing?
One thing
right now. Obviously it can't be a major rule change like, changing the catch rule or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean, just bro, like they've taken all the fun out of it. I mean, okay. I guess I would tweak the rules on jerseys and like what they can wear on the field, or the freaking badass visors.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. That's stupid. The stupidest fucking thing. Man.
That like people watch for that stuff. It's like dude comes out with a badass helmet. That's gonna be talked about. That makes you up there. Like you've done something. You come out looking like fucking Super Shredder on the field, and people are looking at you like, oh, what's this? Let's talk about it. Or even just like Miami coming out on some Miami Vice jerseys randomly.
Dude, that'd be
as long as it doesn't throw off. Like they did the color rush, right? And then you had I have friends that are colorblind; they couldn't watch the game, so you have the NFL doing stuff like that. Why can't we do more color rush? Like, why can't we just
Oh no,
do?
I agree with that. I think
Why
that
can't
the
they have
jersey
Christmas?
thing should be changed constantly. It's
Is
literally the
there
easiest thing to do.
is there a football game on Christmas?
Most likely. I know the NBA, so I'll probably live stream Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that other stuff with the games. Okay, so let's try
But
this
like
trade.
The NBA does Christmas themed jerseys, like ugly sweater jerseys, like
Mm-hmm.
type deal. We don't do shit like that. They go out and they're gonna wear the same uniforms we always see them in.
Agree. But here we go. So, according to the NBA trade machine and cap manager, you could theoretically pull off a Herbert for Allen trade right now
Ugh, why are we still talking about this?
because it's going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I know, but it would be cool.
It would be cool.
Okay, so then what would you do to adjust this?
I already told you.
What?
I would have fired Brandon Staley as soon as that Jaguars game was over. I'm
Okay.
still on. Yeah, that's 100% right. That dude does not deserve to be the coach of the team. Okay? You did some bogus play calling the year before. You kept us out of the fucking playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years ago, then the year after that, same fucking thing. We get to the end,
Yeah.
bogus play calling, got fucking out of it again. Then we played the Jaguars. Fucking monster first half of football. Great game.
Mm-hmm. It
Then you
was.
start doing stupid bullshit. You call stupid plays. You're not utilizing the people that you should be utilizing. I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. People open, not throwing it, not fucking running it, not chewing that clock down. Why are we not chewing the clock down? We literally have them like, wasn't it like 31-0?
Yeah, and then I think they came back. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm telling you, dude, that game
Thirty-one
was. I
zero.
literally turned it off and walked away.
I
I was like, we're done. I was like, the Prince is going to get roasted for this, and it's going to be so bad. And nope.
Imagine that drive home. I drove all the way to Jacksonville to go watch them play this is the first time that I could get to see them.
Yep.
And that shit happens.
Yep. It was you guys were down. They were down 27-0 and ended up winning 31-30. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Bills when they had like 14 seconds left in the game or 13 seconds left in the game, and then still let the Chiefs win. Like, but again, I agree with you. I feel like it's coaching. It's
So
again,
like
I also put it on Herbert's
my
shoulders.
team, the team itself proved itself to me that they can make it to the playoffs if they had someone who was more. I don't know if it's like a show off thing, a cocky thing, but like I don't understand what. So whoever made calls that night, whoever was involved, would be gone. If there was two of them making calls, they were splitting calls. I can't have that. And that's been the source of our problem for 3 years. That bad play calling. We built a good team.
Yeah, but we need to know the solution. Who is the quarterback or the coach you're going to get?
I mean, I don't like I said. I'd sit down and do my interviews, and if I thought you could get it done, you can get it done. I don't have
go
a
get Lovey Smith.
That's not. I mean, I think Lovey Smith would have fucking won us that game.
I don't disagree with that. I think Lovey's great. And now
I
that
do
the Bears are,
it sucks that he got fired as a coach for he had a winning record, and they fired him.
And they got him. He got him the what's it called? He won that game, so he's the reason why the Texans didn't have the first round pick. That's why they got rid of him. They should have had number one.
I'm sorry. There was a chance for us to go to the playoffs, and my coach said, "No, let's run the ball. Let's test them," and we could have just tied. But then he forced the Raiders' hands. It's just stuff like that. I just can't. I'm never gonna get over that.
Yeah, you will. When they finally upgrade their quarterback, you will.
You that's what you want.
No, I genuinely think that's what you guys need. Like genuinely.
That's one opinion in a sea of opinions.
Unfortunately, the Chargers aren't listening to any of them, so